Akanksha means hope. It stands for two things. One, the belief that I have that each child should have an access to an excellent education. And the second, the commitment that I have made that I will do whatever it takes to ensure that this dream turns into a reality. Every day in classrooms, in school, when I see that there are kids who are trying really hard, there are teachers who are trying to turn this dream into a reality, really struggling, planning, working with the kids, enjoying and teaching them and really see the results. I think that is something that motivates me to come to work every day.
Thank you, God, for the world that sings. Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, everybody.
Akanksha is an NGO which has three major focus points: the education of English, mathematics and values to those who really need it, the underprivileged people in India. Everything which we do at Akanksha has some practical importance. We do many projects, many theme activities. It teaches you to enjoy life in all the fields, in arts, in science, in English, or in the service projects where you can actually help your society by doing something.
Every day I visit Akanksha communities, and even not this community, also other communities, other Akanksha centers. And I think so some of the kids have lot of family problems. I think so really when they come over here, they want to come and just sit and want to have their own space. Akanksha is really a support.
We have service project for students over a period of year where the students themselves identify a problem in the society. They research on that problem and also they organize awareness campaigns.
And the real impact of Akanksha will come in force when the students of Akanksha are in action. They are actually doing something in the society.
You can really see the change between this Akanksha child and another child. The way they talk, the way they sit, the way they eat, they are focused on studies also. Akanksha is going to help them in their career and it is going to support them. Like they are grooming themselves.
You also see the change in mindsets of students' parents. I've seen that parent engagement is growing in Akanksha.
Kasarwadi is a great center. It's had Dhanlakshmi who's been with them for many years, and now this year there was Dakshyani, who is also just an amazing, enthusiastic, great teacher.
We love Akanksha!
What do you do when you don't have money for advertising? You force celebrities to campaign for you. Akanksha, an NGO that provides free education to underprivileged children, needed teachers. We tried an experiment called Message Barter. In October, one of Bollywood's biggest superstars, Hrithik Roshan, was promoting his new movie Krish 3, India's highest grossing superhero franchise. He had no clue that Akanksha's kids were helping him out too. A video of this promotion was then mailed to Hrithik with a little message from the kids.
Hello Hrithik Bhaiya, you know why your trailer has broken all records? Because we have been spreading the news about Krish 3 like this. In return, can you please spread some news for us? Our school needs more and more teachers every year. Can you tell all your fans to log on to www.akanksha.org and apply? All the best with Krish 3.
Did Hrithik Roshan respond? Not only did he tweet about Akanksha's need for teachers to his 5 million followers, he also
I lived for the first 18 years of my life outside of India, and when I was 12, we lived in Indonesia. And I remember, I have a terrible memory, so I don't remember much, but I do remember this moment when I was sitting in our garden in Indonesia, and I had a diary at that time, and I was writing in my diary. And years later, when I started my organization, Akanksha, I was trying to prepare something different for a staff meeting. And so I went through all these old papers and documents and I found this diary. And I think what I'm going to share with you is not a very good poem. It's a poem I wrote. I was just 12, but in my mind it sowed the seeds for what I was going to do later. Yeah? So that poem, and this goes back a long time, 1983, was said, I reached to touch a rainbow today, I reached up high, so high, and yet as high as I reached up, I could not touch the sky. I'll reach to touch a rainbow again, I'll reach up higher than high, and if I try to reach up high, I just may skim the sky. So I felt very, very lucky that at the age of 12, I sort of knew what I wanted to do. And from 12, every summer vacation, I would volunteer. And in retrospect, I can now connect the dots. At that time, I didn't really know what motivated me to do it. But every summer, I spent my summers working with kids who were visually impaired, hearing impaired. When we lived in the US, I worked with autistic kids. When we lived in Indonesia, I worked with really severely handicapped kids who lived in an orphanage. And I just remember lots and lots of joy. Just really like loving being around kids and knowing that like somewhere like this is what I'm going to do. Thinking about how do I change things for every kid in the country, and if I'm an educator, I'm thinking about how can I run the best possible school for the poorest kids to be able to show people that it's possible. As a problem, what's our natural instinct? Do we pick up a mirror, in which case like the problem's me, it's inside me, I need to find a solution in me? Or do I pick up a magnifying glass, in which case like the problems are outside me, they're becoming bigger outside me? And I think this struggle and journey of trying as hard as I can in those situations to pick up the mirror and resist the temptation to pick up the magnifying glass has been another really big learning.